Hello everyone and welcome to Quantum Universum. Today, we continue our journey by tackling the 10th exercise. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss the upcoming videos on personal growth and spiritual well-being. After reaching the majestic Iron Cross, a famous icon along the route of the Jacobean route, placed on a hill not far from Foncebadon, Coelho and his guide found refuge in a picturesque village. Here, Petrus took care of Coelho's wounds with the assistance of a shrewd elderly healer. Relying only on prayers and natural herbs, the pair managed to heal Coelho, allowing him to continue his journey. Descending now along the road lined with numerous wooden crosses, perhaps erected by a pilgrim in times past, Petrus raised an issue to Coelho. Despite the latter having defeated the fearsome black dog, he had not yet managed to solve the mystery of his sword. Consumed by impatience to find it again, Coelho had not noticed the approach of the enemy. Petrus proposed to him the RAM exercise of listening to develop clairaudience, a capacity that had allowed Petrus himself to foresee the arrival of Legion. Subsequently, he challenged him to raise an inclined cross to the ground with only the astral force of thought. Failing to do so, Petrus ordered him to straighten it manually, despite the bandages still on the freshly healed wounds, otherwise Coelho's Camino de Santiago would come to an end. The order appeared humiliating and senseless to Coelho, arousing in him terror and deep hatred towards his guide. However, despite these conflicting feelings, Coelho obeyed. Suppressing the pain of the wounds, he laboriously lifted the cross from the base and dug a hole to rehouse it. The hardness of the ground made it difficult to create a sufficiently deep hole. Thanks to the exercise of shadows, Coelho came up with the idea of raising the soil around with stones and soil. His final effort consisted of lifting the cross, lying under it, and hoisting it onto his shoulders, recreating a sort of seed exercise to slide it into the hole. Despite the success of the enterprise, Coelho remained with the bitter impression that his wise path was destined to be sacrificed by the oppression of his superiors. In Ponferrada, Petrus helped Coelho change the bandages, then led him to a railway station wagon depot. With a veil of sadness, Petrus bid farewell to Coelho, declaring that from that moment on, he would have to discover the secret of his sword alone, with the announcement of a future meeting during a collective ritual of the homage to the ancients tradition scheduled for the following day. Here is the exercise of listening. Relax and close your eyes. Concentrate for a few minutes on all the sounds around you, as if it were an orchestra tuning instruments. Gradually, you will begin to distinguish the various sounds. Focus on each of them, as if it were the voice of a single instrument. Try to eliminate the other sounds from your mind. By performing this exercise daily, you will begin to hear voices. At first, you will think they are figments of your imagination. Then, you will discover that they belong to men from the past, present, and future, who make up the memory of time. Engage in this exercise only if you already know the voice of your messenger. Its minimum duration is 10 minutes. The exercise of listening proposes an inner journey through sound, inviting deep concentration and awareness. Initially, it asks to relax and close the eyes, initiating a process of sensory immersion. The metaphor of an orchestra tuning instruments suggests a harmonization of the surrounding auditory perceptions. By focusing on each sound, as if it were the voice of a specific instrument, the exercise aims to isolate and discern each element, eliminating auditory interferences. Regular practice of this exercise promises a gradual development of auditory abilities. The distinction of voices, initially interpreted as products of imagination, is presented as a connection with men from the past, present, and future. These individuals compose the memory of time, suggesting an esoteric perspective that transcends conventional temporal limitations. Participation in the exercise is conditioned by knowledge of the voice of one's messenger, suggesting personalized interaction with spiritual sources or inner guidance. The minimum duration of 10 minutes emphasizes the importance of dedicating time and effort to this practice, indicating that benefits manifest through perseverance in active listening and sensory focus. And for today, the 10th stage of our journey ends. As always, thank you for being with me on this journey. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to let me know by liking and leaving a comment. See you soon in the next video.